Hey guys, and welcome back to another one, and I hope you are all okay. And today we are going to wrap up the topic of the SonOff integrated on Home Assistant without the original firmware. Now, we have done on the last few videos integrating SonOff devices with Home Assistant, which is what I have right over here with the original firmware with all the pros and cons. And if I select this button, for example, switch my light and switch off. Actually, I can switch this one and be in the dark, but that's not the point. But this is the way that we have seen on one of the previous videos. We can still keep using e-wheeling app and so on and so forth. And once again, advantages and disadvantages on all the scenarios. Now, on the last video, we saw how to integrate this device or this kind of device, SonOff devices, through flashing it with Tasmota. And this one right over here is working, as you can see on the screen. And I can toggle on and off using the Tasmota firmware. So what I want to do today or share with you guys is the best way that I found to integrate this into Home Assistant. And for that we are going to install two really great and easy tools to install and configure, as you guys will have the chance to see, and step by step you will be able to do exactly what I'm going to show you. Now, all the credits are due to the guys that developed this and also the community, which is great. So a thumbs up for the community that gives tips and improves not only my knowledge but also the things that I can share. And that, with that long intro, let's go for it. So the first thing that I will need to go is to Supervisor, and in here I will need to go to the add-on store, and after that let's go and search for TasmoAdmin. Now this is a really cool tool, and we are going to install. Now this is going to take a while, so I'll be back in a few seconds. And it's already installed, and this one takes roughly 1.5 minutes, something like that. Now before I forget, let's start the server, or the app to be more precise, TasmoAdmin. And let's just check the configuration, because in my particular case I don't have SSL. So if you have SSL, just leave it true. In my particular case I don't, so I'm going to say false. And I also have on my configuration this line, which is log level info. Basically that is it, and it will give us yes, restart admin. It will give us a little bit of more information if we require. Now, one of the things that we are going to do right now is I want to add the TasmoAdmin here on this sidebar, and to do that let's go to the TasmoAdmin, and if we go to the documentation, which we can read. Actually, in my particular case, I love to read this kind of thing. At the end of the day, when I have some free available time, reading this kind of thing is really, really cool. So a huge thumbs up to this community and the guys that developed this kind of code. Now, what I'm searching, and I would suggest to read the whole thing so that we can understand a little bit better, but what I'm searching is just to embed it into Home Assistant, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to take to my file editor right over here. I'm going to open the configuration YAML, and after that what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it right over here. And actually, as I've got things organized this way, I'm going to copy this line as well, and I'm just going to write over here something like TasmoAdmin panel, something like that. And what I need to do mandatory is to change my address. Now my address, as you can see, is this IP right over here, so I'm going to change, and you just have to change with yours. Mine is 192.168.1.105, and I'm going to leave it like this. And of course, if we want to change the icon, we can, but I'm not going to change here or talk about that here. It will have to be through a further video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this configuration right over here, going to the configuration, and in the server controls, check if my configuration is okay, it's valid. Let's go down and restart, and it has restarted. And as you guys can see, I've got a new menu right over here called TasmoAdmin. So if I press here, it will give me a new dashboard, which is really cool. And one thing is that this is not mandatory, but it's really fun. I could do what we are going to do next with this menu right over here of the Tasmota, but like this is a lot better in my opinion, because if I've got a lot of devices, I'm going to select a username right over here, and password 123456, and I'm going to register, don't save. If I have a lot of devices, I can just auto scan them, and it will take a while, but it will have all the devices here without knowing the IP address. In this particular case, for the video, I'm going to do a little bit quicker, which is to use the IP address that I already know of my device, which is this one right over here, to add it to the TasmoAdmin. So I'm going to press add device. So we need to paste the IP address right over here and then press search, and the device is found. Now obviously it's found because I told that the IP address was this, but on the option of auto scan it will take a while, but it will be worth it if we have a lot of devices or if we don't know the IP address of the device, which is one of the points of this tool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. I can change the name. This is luz, which is light in my language, Portuguese, but I could say light, and I can just save it. And if I go back, for example, it will show right over here on my devices, and at this moment I can control it. So this is a really cool tool. Now, one of the things that I cannot do yet is to go to the overview and add it to this side, which is necessary to do some automation. So let's go to the second step, which is to go to the supervisor and right over here, add-on store, and let's search for Mosquito Broker, and here we go. And on the Mosquito Broker, let's just press install, and this one is quicker to install, so it's already, and I'm going to press start, and there we go, it's ready. Now if I go to configurations at this moment, I'm going to leave everything by default, and what I want to do right now is if I go to the notifications and check it out, we will have the Mosquito Broker right over here, and let's forget about these devices. I just want to focus on this one. So if I press configure, I want to enable discovery. Yes, I do. And right over here, when I submit, I will have the Mosquito Broker searching for any device that we add, and that's what we are going to do on the next step, which is go to TasmoAdmin, and let's go to devices and list those devices, and then configure. And here on this menu, I'm going to search for MQQT, and mine I already installed, so it will have the IP address, but the IP address will be of our server. So just press the IP address, and then we will have to change this to your login, username, and password. In my particular case, I just created a username for this and a password as well, which is 123456, and there we go. So if I press save, it will give me this message that the configuration has been saved, everything is just fine. Now one more final step, which is to go to the devices once again, just press list, and I want to issue a command, and I can do this here, and of course we could do all this right over here on the menu. I could go to console, I could also, just out of curiosity for those that are still here, I could go to the configuration and configure MQQT through right over here, but I do believe that it's really fun to use the TasmoAdmin, which is a really nice tool. Now the command that I want to issue is just for this device, but if you have like 10 or 15 devices, then you will have, or you will want to issue the command once for all the devices. And what I want to do right over here is set option 19, and I want to say on, and basically this command just issues that this device will be discovered on the network. So I'm going to press that command, and it said that command sent successfully, and ID light set option 19 is on. Once again, I could do that right over here. If we go to console, and if I set option 19 on and enter, it would do exactly the same thing, but here gives me a few more messages than right over here on the comment. Now if I go to notifications right now, it says that that discovered new devices. So if I want to check it out, and if I go to Mosquito Broker, it says that as one device and two entities. So basically what we have right now is the possibility to add that device right over here. So if I go to configure UI, and if I go to plus, what I can select is a button, for example, and I'm going to search for my device, which is called Tasmota Luz. And luge once again means light. I'm going to save it, and at this moment what I can do is I can just control it right over here. So really cool. And we have two ways of controlling it. Of course, this one is great to search, in my opinion, and to use as a tool to an end, but of course we can turn on and turn off and so on and so forth. But having it right over here is the goal, because we can light this up, having in mind the automation. So I just want to light this up if someone gets in this room or something like that. And guys, basically this is it. Hopefully this video was useful. Just one more thing for those of you that are beginning here, we can also change all the names if we go to the devices list, and if we go to edit, for example, we have here where it says light or luge, we can just change whatever. And of course, when I put it right over here, to be able to use in a friendlier way, we can just configure the UI, and if I go to edit, I can give a name like light, let's say something that I know for sure that I know how to write. So office light, and I can save it, and there we go, office light. It's a friendlier name when I'm searching for the devices. And of course we also have, besides the TasmoAdmin options where I can change all the names and so on and so forth, we can also go to the Tasmota menu if we want to, and in configuration we will have the configure order, for example, where I can just say this name right over here, Tasmota. I can change to something else, and as you can see, I've got Tasmota and luge. And what happens is that when we add that device, it appears as Tasmota luge. So any name that we give on our Tasmota, it will appear right over here. And of course we can change the friendlier name right over there. So we have all this kind of options right over here. Guys, hopefully the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.